Good, there you go.
Very good. I'm Ashley Ness. I'm excited to be here. And I want to talk about relationship marketing, which is a fancy way to say being nice to people while you sell them things.
There you go.
Yeah. So, without making them want to run and hide every time that you come around. So, first I want to talk about my little turtle here. I love turtles for lots of reasons. This one I got when I was in China in 2005. And I love turtles because they can hide in their shell and they can stick their neck out. You have to choose what you're going to do. There's a little of each. You got to kind of do some of each to protect ourselves. And sometimes we stick our necks out and we move. But if a turtle always stayed in his safe shell, he wouldn't be safe for very long because he wouldn't have eaten anything. He wouldn't have moved. Eventually he wouldn't be able to move. So there's a balance. So I love it for that reason. I also love it because I had to stick my neck out before I could get it twice. First when I bought it, because in China there are no price tags. You have to haggle down to a good price that you like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I wanted that turtle, I had to talk to somebody who didn't speak my language and get them down to the price that I liked and buy the thing.
Oh, good for you.
The second time I had to stick my neck out for this particular necklace was when I realized that it could be ivory. And I wasn't going to wear it if it was ivory. And so I needed to figure out if it was ivory, so I didn't wear it for almost 10 years. And when I finally decided, I'm going to wear that necklace, I need to find out if it's ivory. 15 minutes on Google, and it's bone. It's bone. I found out in 15 minutes. And I went for 10 years not having access to this amazing necklace, which I love and wear all the time. So I think, for me, like, what does it have to do with relationship marketing? A couple of things. Obviously, people can connect with the stories that you tell, but really, when we stick out our neck and we try something new, just one step, amazing things can happen and opportunities are available to us that were not available before. So, as promised in the email and the post that I sent, I'm going to show you how to set up a way to keep your people organized online so that when you do face-to-face talking to people, building relationships, you can cultivate those from your email. And I have some exciting handouts to go with this, which I will include by email to people who aren't here and want it later. This is the email that I sent. This is the exact email that I sent to 65 people when I was just getting started. So if you take one of those and pass them around. And don't bother reading it yet. Let's let everybody get theirs. I'll tell you the story of what I did. I did a lot of researching, a lot of self-educating when I was first getting started with marketing. I knew that I didn't want to just market. I mean, you think marketing, you think, buy this now, whatever, these things that people do that don't work, and we're all annoyed by them. We get the mailers, we throw them away. That's not what I wanted to do. But so I kept working and researching until I learned how to build people up, build relationships, and connect with people at the same time as marketing. And really, we do this all the time. Whenever we want our child to eat vegetables, we are marketing. Whenever we're
Marketing makes the world easy.
it really does, because I know something that you don't know, and if I'm willing to share that with you and you're willing to receive that information, we both win. So relationship marketing is my term for the kind of marketing where everybody wins.
Mutually beneficial.
Right. So the way I started this was a blog, because nobody has to buy anything from a blog. They just have to invest their time and read it. And I really enjoyed making little posts about different things that I was learning and making it into a blog post. And my family and friends would read it and have a good time. I really struck gold when I wrote about Let It Go from Frozen. It was back in February of last year. The movie hadn't come out yet, but every kid worth their weight had already memorized Let It Go. And so I did a little research into the storyline. I actually cheated. I went to a grocery store and I read the coloring book. So I knew what Frozen was about, I had some very real thoughts about that, the song, and when I learned about the story. And I wrote about that at the end of the year, and I said, my resolution to let it go in 2014. So this had a couple of things. One was people were talking about New Year's resolutions at the time, so it was a popular topic, and people were talking about Frozen. And so to put the two together, it turned out that my reach for that post went from about 8, 9, 10, 11 to 200 in 2 days. And I was blown away. I was, that just happened to me. I didn't even try that hard. I posted on Facebook and Twitter, and people just shared it, and it went crazy. And so I pulled my head back into my shell. I'm like, okay, that's scary. I now can clearly see what my life's mission is, and I'm gonna hang out here for a minute while I figure out what that means. So for a long time, I didn't do anything with that blog because I realized that people needed what I had to say, and I wasn't sure I was ready to say it yet. So finally, I got myself strong, I stuck my neck out again, and I actually went to a live event. I went to the What a Woman Wants Expo down in Sandy. I bought a booth, and I wasn't selling anything. I was just telling people to go to my blog.
Wow.
I'm curious, what blog format did you use?
It was, I used WordPress. Really, it's just, I just
Okay.
post it.
You just did WordPress.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the time, I had a WordPress.org site, and now I've moved it. So I have my own site. It's ashesandtomatoes.com if you want to check.
Ashley's what?
Ashes and Tomatoes.
Okay.
That's what I'm-
Oh, okay, cool.
And when I did that, I was really excited about this. And I went and I wrote a little giveaway, a little free thing that I could give out to people that passed, because that's what you do at expos, you give people things. I gave away 400 of these things and got 43 people to sign up for my mailing list. And I was stoked. I was so ready to go. So this is my relationship, my future. This is when I realized this is something that people want. And what I've learned from that was really interesting, is who stopped at my booth, who walked by and who kept running, and who stopped. And I learned a lot about what kind of person wanted to hear what I was saying. It wasn't exactly what I expected. So then I really poured my energy into figuring that out, to writing more things, to figure out who I was. It was a really transitional point in my life and in my family's life. We were moving in every kind of way, and finally I was able to flow together. Now, over the course of that process, I wanted to really make this a big deal. I wanted to make this a business thing, not a just Ashley's having fun online thing. And at that point, because before that point, I had been emailing my family, all of my family and friends on my email list. Every time I posted anything, go check this out, it's really cool, I'm really excited about it. And got to the point where I realized that was a trust that I wanted to cultivate, and I didn't want people to just not open my emails because they didn't want to hear about my business anymore. So this email is one that I sent, and I gave it to you in case it's helpful, and you won't want to obviously copy it, but there are some elements in that you can transition your personal email list to your online prospect list without breaking up any relationships that you want to keep close. Like, your grandma doesn't want to hear about your blog. You don't want to send her stuff about your blog because you want to respect that trust that she has in you to send personal things. So this, I'll just read it out loud for the benefit of those on the video. Hello family and friends, I am so excited to announce the official launch of my Ashes and Tomatoes blog. Last month I sent you a link to possibly my best post ever, my resolution to let it go in 2014. You'll notice that both of those are actually linked. They can go right to either of those things if they want a reminder. I was amazed at the response from that post. I told them a little bit about the story. 200 people read it in just the first 2 days. I was floored. Part of why I haven't done anything with it since is because I have been trying to decide what to do with it. I'm learning how to make something that only mattered to me and my closest companions into something that could reach like-minded, like-hearted people all over the world. It took me one paragraph to describe 6 months of struggle, and we'll come back to that. Today I took a crucial step toward that goal. I set up a permanent home for my dedicated Ashes and Tomatoes email list. So this is officially the last time I market this specific blog to you from my personal email account. This may be good news for those of you who have too many emails coming in already and are glad to only see personal updates about the Nance family from me. I know that I'm telling them that this is me, this is my business. We can be separate for you. I'm happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep that relationship going. I want to know what you want. For those of you who enjoyed my posts and would like to be alerted when I create new ones, I told them a couple of things they had to look forward to. I got a spiritual meditation on the Consider the Lily scripture and a somewhat in-your-face rebuttal to the song I'll Wait for You coming down online soon. So even if they never even read my blog before, they kind of have an idea of what it's going to be about. I hope you take a second to let me know. It's very easy. Just reply to this email. You can send me a message or just hit reply and send without typing anything. At least one person who actually did that. Then I'll put your email list in my blog email list and you won't miss a thing. Of course, you can unsubscribe later if you get tired of it at some point. You really want to keep that trust. You really don't get a sense from this email that like, I know you probably don't want this, but I'm going to ask anyway. It's, this is how it's going to be. Do you want in or do you not want in? Either way, I'm cool. And if you don't want in, just don't respond and we're good. No hard feelings. I have non-blog related things I can still share as they're coming along. Reply, send, and let it go. I love you all. Big hugs and love from the now in Utah, Nancy. Sincerely, Ashley Nance. I sent that to 65 people and 9 people responded, which really isn't bad in the world of marketing. And what did I do with them?
How many responded?
9. So, better than 10% response rate from people totally unsolicited, non-targeted audience. So what I did is I put them up on a MailChimp account. The gentleman that was just here was talking about Infusionsoft, which is a great resource for well-established and highly profitable business.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely free until you have 2,000 people on your list.
What is it called?
It's called MailChimp.
Oh, MailChimp.
MailChimp.com. The other advantage to this particular one for our purposes
Chimp. C-H-I-M.
is that it doesn't require a confirmation link. So
Oh, that's nice.
basically, you say, hey, can I put you on your email list? Yes, you can. That's your confirmation. I absolutely, if you ever get to the point where you're putting an opt-in form on a website, absolutely do one that requires a confirmation link because you want that double, yes, 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 I want this. You really want people who want it. But if you're talking to somebody and you know they want it, they're not just like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. If they know you want in, then you can just put them on there and then they'll start getting updates. It's easy to set up. There's a big sign up for free button. And no, I don't need a commission for telling you to use the MailChimp.
Another good thing about that is that if you do end up with a significant list and you want to email to them, a lot of email accounts, Gmail and Hotmail and those kind of things, you get to a certain number of persons that the email is going to and it blocks it from going because it thinks it's spam. And MailChimp doesn't, it's created to allow you to
Right.
mail to mass numbers of
That's a good
people.
point. You get over about 30 recipients and it's like, junk mail, and it sends it to people's junk mail folders instead of their inbox. That's no good. You have 200 people, you want to email the same thing at the same time. Going through a server is a lot more helpful because it comes as just to them, just from you. And that's a lot easier.
Do you mind, Ashley, if we kind of go around and see what you guys are using?
Oh, yeah.
Would that be fine?
Sure.
Okay, I just kind of want to. Do you guys have? Do you
Sure.
guys all have a CRM, or do you use MailChimp? Do you use?
I started with I started my account with MailChimp, but I'm worried about transferring over to Infusionsoft Computer, so I'm trying to decide if it's worth just jumping into Infusionsoft.
Infusionsoft.
Infusionsoft, is that the?
It's pretty expensive,
It's
yeah.
a bigger one.
Yeah,
It goes-
Infusionsoft is really fabulous.
Do you use it now?
Infusionsoft is really good. Actually, we were gonna shift over to Infusionsoft, but because we're doing ClickFunnels with Russell Brunson,
ClickFunnels